G'day everybody and welcome to another episode of Automotive Carnage. Today we're continuing work on the Pacer because we are going to the Max Pinjarra car show on the 6th of April. So this is the announcement. I'm going to be there, the Pacer's going to be there, down the Sheriff Byron's going to be there with the Holden Bram that we rescued out of the bush. Aussie Garage are going to be there with their panel vans, and there's going to be plenty more YouTubers. We have a whole lot of section there. Come down, say g'day, 6th of April. Come check out the Pacer. Come see the work for yourself. Now, without further ado, let's get into this episode and let's get some work done. Yes, go everybody, my name's DJ and thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Automotive Carnage. Today, as I said, we're going to be jumping back into the Pacer. It was long overdue and honestly I have not touched it since Paul left a couple of weeks ago. Had a couple of jobs I had to do with family vehicles, but the Pacer's back in the shed now and we're going to work on getting that interior a little bit of a sprucing. I've got some brand new parts, we've got some old parts, we've got some awesome new second-hand old parts we pulled out of the bush to go into the Pacer, and it's going to look really, really good. So my idea is to get this car into a presentable state for you guys at the Max Pinjarra show. Unfortunately, it's not going to be running and driving. I don't have an engine for it. I don't have a gearbox for it. I got a diff, which is still in pieces. I got to put all that back together. So yeah, it's going to be a static display, but at least you have to see the actual Creekbed Pacer in person. If you come down to the show, Max Pinjarra, 6th of April, don't forget the date. I'm sure I've said it enough now. I'll stop saying it, but make sure you're there. Max Pinjarra, 6th of April. The Pacer, yeah, let's just show you around, remind you what's happened, show you the new parts that go in it, and show you the wreck that we rescued to supply more parts for this car. So as I'm sure you're all aware, Paul from Old School Only came over from New South Wales to give us a hand to get this car into the state that it is now, and it's looking absolutely fantastic. I cannot thank you enough, Paul, for helping get this car to the point that it is today, so that these lovely people who watch this channel can see it at the coming up show. So we got it all. He got all the panels straightened out. He got the doors sorted. He got the roof sorted. He got the bonnet painted. We got the front end all together. We got the grille painted up like a Pacer grille. The boot is sorted. All the damage on there has been rectified. Well, I say all the damage, but you know, it actually looks like a presentable boot now. The roof is looking a lot better, and overall he has just made this car look like an actual car, and when it's out in the daylight it actually looks like a tough, sweet muscle car as well. So today we're going to continue on and get this interior sorted. I really want this car looking as best as I can get it with the parts I have available at the moment for the show. So we're going to get the dash modified and back in. We'll talk about those seats in a second. We have the roof lining to go in, brand new roof lining. We've got Dan from Vision Auto Trim going to give us a hand with that one. And then we've got brand new rubber seals for the front windscreen and the rear windscreen. So a massive shout out to the viewer who sponsored those for the car. He wished to remain anonymous. Top bloke, thank you very much. You know who you are. Much, much appreciated. And then, as I say, we have a wreck which is going to supply all of the glass and internal mechanisms. So what I'm hoping for is to get, dash in, roof in. I was always hoping to get the carpet in, but unfortunately it's going to arrive the day after the show, which is a bit of a bummer. There's a slim chance it could arrive in time, but I highly doubt it. And yeah, we'll get all the glass in as well, which I think is going to look really, really cool. And just help create the image of this vehicle just looking sweet. It just looks so sweet. So first off, I will show you the dash. Now, the original Pacer dash, which is over here behind me, was looking a lot worse for wear coming out of the bush and sitting there for so long. The whole pad on the top is just disintegrating and falling apart. The actual cluster itself was there, but wasn't looking the greatest. And overall, just in a bit rough condition. So what we have is over here, we have this awesome dash that came out of a parts car. Brought it down to Perth ages ago. As you can see, I already have the Pacer glove box just sitting in there. This facade we do need to paint and patina to match the black of the glove box. Our cluster is going to go into here, but overall it's a much better condition dash. The pad's there, it is cracked, but at least it has a pad. We might chuck a bit of black paint on the top there as well. As for that cluster, that is over here. I spent a bit of time last night just playing around. We pulled it right apart And we actually got the gauges look as good as I can get them. If I scrub too much more surface rust off, I'm just going to lose the actual speedometer as well. So I scrubbed as best as I could. That's what we're going to end up with, but in person it looks really, really good. New facade on there that came off another part that we had. The original one was all cracked and broken. Luckily there's no difference between the Pacer one and the standard one. The strip that goes beside the glove box on the dash has been all cleaned up and looking fantastic as well. So now it's just a matter of flicking a bit of paint onto that dash and getting it all back together to go into the car. Now, along with that, we also need to get the windows in and get the assemblies inside the door. So let's go over to the new parts car and show you what we picked up. A little while ago, I put a call out to all my local friends here in the wheat belt of Western Australia. I'm like, hey, I need a few more bits and pieces to get this Pacer done. I need glass, I need bonnet hinges, front and rear windows, a few other bits and pieces, door cards, an engine, stuff like that. And it was actually my boss who came through and said, I know where there is a Valiant sitting out on the farmer's dump, and pretty much he just wants a box of beer for it, so we'll go and have a look, see if it's what you need. Surprisingly, it does. Mostly. And what we ended up with was a 1969 VF Valiant Regal Safari. Now what's really cool is this particular model, especially the Regals, they only made about 1,400 of these. So this wagon in itself is actually a pretty rare vehicle, which is really cool. Unfortunately, the rust is so far, it's just in places that unless you wanted to restore a wagon, it's really not worth it. So yeah, we're going to chop it up and use it for parts. Well, not so much chop it up, but what we are going to do is take all of this glass, probably not the chrome trims, take the glass and not the chrome trims, and all the mechanisms inside, door handles, outside and inside. It also has a 225 slant in here. Now, I haven't tried to rotate it, but it does have a bonnet, which means that hopefully it's not too seized up. But water pump's missing, carby's missing, starter motor's missing, so there will be debris inside the engine. But if we can play with it and get it running, hey, that'll be awesome. But it's not life-threatening. Now, nothing's really life-threatening. Now what's cool too is it has the side markers. This one's in very good condition with both the strips. The one on the Pacer currently is missing one of the strips, so we'll probably take that out and use that. The hinges, unfortunately, are absolutely cactus. They've been bent much in the way that the ones that we have been bent. So we've got all the doors and glass on this side. Now, unfortunately, being a wagon, we don't have the same rear glass. So we are still missing rear glass, but we've got a viewer who's reached out and said we can grab his. So I'm just making a plan to get hold of him and go down there and get the rear glass. Front windscreen is original and in really good condition. In fact, the roof is in amazing condition. So if you are restoring a wagon in West Australia and you need a really good roof, yeah, we can work out a deal and chop that one off if you want. In fact, this car will be parted out, and parts that I don't need can be then used into other vehicles. So if you do need anything that's wagon specific, let us know. automotivecarnage@gmail.com if there's any parts you need. And yeah, let's work out a deal. Let's see if we can get more parts off of this onto your vehicle and save more cars. The more cars we save, the better. It's why we do everything that we do with these old cars. So that is our wagon. Now, I don't know how, I don't know why, but I wasn't complaining. If you notice, it has bench seats. And if you notice, back when we were looking at the Pacer, there was a pair of bucket seats in there. This wagon had those bucket seats in it, and they're pretty special. Let's go have a look at those. What we have here is a pair of what I believe to be VH Charger seats. Again, I don't know why they were in the wagon, but I'm not complaining, and we didn't mention it, and they came with the car. So really, really happy. Yes, they're not the original tombstones that came in the VF, but the fact of the matter is, they're bucket seats, they look similar, they're in the right trim color, the T1 tan, so I am over the moon to have these. I was contemplating retrofitting some FG Falcon seats that I have to go into this car, so the fine knees just helps with that. Well, I mean, I can't call it originality, but at least it's still in the Valiant family. So the reason we believe them to be Charger seats is that they have the mechanism on the side here to tilt them forward, which to my knowledge, and I'm willing to be, if you guys know more about Valiant bucket seats, let me know. But if they've got the tilt, to me that means they've come from a 2-seater, which obviously would be the Charger. Possibly hardtop, but I haven't seen many hardtops with this style of bucket seat. I normally see the hardtops with the low rise. So if you guys recognize these seats, chuck in the comments below where they're from, because I'd actually be really interested to know, if you, just by looking at them, if you can tell exactly what model or year Valiant they come out of. So we'll clean those up, get the rails working good. We've got to find the stands to, all the spacers to bolt the chairs to the floor, which we should have, I think. So that's really cool. So really excited about that. Again, really gutted that the carpet is not going to be here before the show, but at least we can seam seal the floor that we put in, paint it black, and it's going to look just as good anyway. Well, not as good, but it's going to look good. That is everything to catch you guys up to date on where we're at with the Pacer. So next thing now, I'm going to get cracking into that dash. I want to paint it up and I want to get it ready to go in, bolted in for the final time. Time lapse, let's get into it. Well, as you just saw, we spent a bit of time getting that dash all sorted. That's now in the car. We'll check that out shortly. And then we started pulling apart the rear door to get all the glass and the door mechanisms out of it. So, yeah, I just found out something very interesting, which I'm pretty sure a few of you Valiant-minded viewers have already noticed. And let's check it out. So something that didn't even cross my mind is that the difference between the sedan and the wagon was a little bit more than just tacking on a bit of extra metal to the back of a sedan. So look, you can already see it already, but if you look at the frame on our station wagon door, it is all very straight, whereas the window frame on the sedan has a lot more curves. So this back line here that curves in this way, and then the top line curves down, whereas that's just a straight line. So needless to say, all this glass that I just spent all that time pulling out, cleaning, and getting ready to put into the sedan, it doesn't fit at all. So I'm kind of hoping that the front doors are exactly the same. We'll take a few measurements before I start pulling the glass out, because it's not the easiest thing to get out, especially when you don't want to break the glass, because that's very hard to find, and you don't want to damage the Bailey channels because you've only got a couple of days before the car show, so you kind of need to use what you've got on hand. You can't wait to order stuff in. Those rear doors really intrigue me though, because I'm noticing between a lot of the Valiants, there's a lot of crossover with parts. So it's really interesting that they changed the design of the rear door going from the sedan to the wagon. I thought they would have just kept all the same and just used all the same glass and all the same panels and bits and pieces. The bottom of the door, the actual door skin, looks exactly the same. It's just that top frame, window frame, that is actually different. So I'm just going to quickly rip out all the, as I say, take some measurements and then rip out all the glass on the front door, whack that in, and then let's see what that looks like, shall we? So if we line this up, if I stand here and we look at this situation going on here with a bit of chicken magic, and hey presto, the car has its first working functional window in gosh knows how many years, and it's clear glass. So it's a bit hard to see on the camera, but there we go. The window actually operates. Can we open the crawler window? Fantastic. And then if we go inside, get that door open, give it a little wind, which is a bit rusty and crusty, but you know what? It works. And I am absolutely over the moon, so excited that we have that glass in there. So now we're going to do the same thing for that side, which will come up just as good. But while we're here, let's show you that dash before we lose too much light. And let's have a squiz in here, shall we? No, hang on, there's a trick with this handle. And hold that down. There we go. There we go. Let's turn some light on there, fellas. So that dash came out looking absolutely fantastic. So got the original Pacer glove box in there. We've painted the front facade. We've given the glove box a lick of paint as well, just so it little matches. We still need to figure out how to mount the strip that goes across there. And we've got to mount our blanking plate that covers up where the heater controls would have been, because our Pacer came with just the option for the fan. It doesn't have a fan, sorry, just the open, closed for the fan box that goes up under there, which we haven't put back in anyway, but we will put the little knobs back into there for the show. So we've got our reconditioned and repurposed white-faced Pacer cluster in there, looking really good. Again, couldn't clean it up too much. We didn't want to lose the actual surface and the face of it, but I think the surface rust that's still on there really complements it. We need to change the steering wheel. That one is bent and buckled, but it's in there. It's good for now. Those windows are looking fantastic. Let's get those windows in. We can't put the front windscreen in until our roof liner is in. And yeah, so I'm very happy with the progress so far. Yeah, I'm just going to keep smashing it out as best as I can. Unfortunately, this will be a shorter video because I need to get this video out to let you know that we're going to be at the Max Pinjarra show. So if you want to come meet the car, sorry, not meet the car. If you want to come see the car and meet me in person, you got to come down to Max Pinjarra. And it's going to be an absolutely fantastic day. Now, yeah, so short video, really sorry about that. But next week we will have a much longer one where we go and put everything else into this car and actually have the footage of the show as well. While I was editing that last clip, I realized that the outro wasn't actually done properly. So here I am to finish off properly and say thank you very much for joining us on this episode of Automotive Carnage. Again, for the last time, make sure you cruise on down to Max Pinjarra Car Show on the 6th of April. Come down, meet the gang, see the car, buy some merch. It's going to be a fantastic day. Can't wait to meet you all there. And otherwise, if you guys can't make it, we do have some merch coming to the store very shortly. So be sure to keep your eyes on the automotivecarnage.com website, where we will have some new shirts and hats and stuff coming shortly. So that's really looking forward to that as well. So thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you guys on the next episode of Automotive Carnage.